Close in age and pro experience, the gap in front of Green is staggering. However, 6-0 with one no contest in world title fights she has faced 5 world-class opponents and won 15 championship rounds for Glenn. Tonight is a first. Experience isn't just an edge, it's the storyline. And David, when you look at this fight, it really is explosive power versus calculated precision. One under speed and strength is Glenn's rhythm, volume, and tactical traps. It surely is. At least just being herself last time out. She was a little bit late, a really good touch, on top. This time round, I think it's going to gel a lot more. It was a late choice decision. She gave herself a beat. This time she's looking for A+. Yeah, second fight working with 2023 Trainer of the Year, Derek James, who's known for his calm demeanor, methodical training style. He's worked with top-tier fighters including Errol Spence Jr., Joel Travel, Brian Garcia, and Frank Martin. And for both gunners, she is, at her best, offense first, explosive, athletic, and confident. And it's nice. Look at that. Beautifully done. Let's go to big opening. Careful interruptions. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live from the 305, Miami, Florida, and live all around the world on Netflix. This is your co-main event of the evening. 12 3-minute rounds for the IBF, WBA, and WBO Unified Super Featherweight Championship of the World. From one of our Nikita Maneri and Jake Paul's most valuable promotions, our 3 judges scoring this battle ringside, David Leon, Efrain Lebron, and Steve Weisfeld. Our timekeeper, Rick Villazza, and our supervisors in charge for the WBO, Michael Pernick, for the IBF, Pete Pogorski, and for the WBA, Ian Martino. And our referee in charge for the bell rings is Alicia Collins. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 2 winners, 1 fight, who wants it more? Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, the challenger. Wearing the plain trunk with the orange trim, she stands 5 feet 6 inches tall. She weighed in at 130 pounds even. Tonight, she enters the ring with a near perfect professional record of 13 victories, opposite just 1 defeat, with 2 of those wins coming by way of a knockout. And she fights out of Temiscouta, Quebec, Canada, introducing the highly ranked contender, Leila Bouin. The defending world champion, wearing light level shows the black trim. She stands 5 feet 6 inches tall. She weighed in at 129.2 pounds. Tonight, she is the ring with a near perfect professional record of 16 victories versus just 1 defeat and 1 no contest, with 7 of those wins coming by way of a knockout. And she fights out of Dallas, Texas, by way of Fremont, Ohio, USA. Ladies and gentlemen, she is the current, the reigning, the defending IBF, WBA, and WBO Unified Super Featherweight Champion of the World. Ladies and gentlemen, Alicia Bouin.
She's good here now, and you are good here now. Go ahead, touch my face.
Good to see all 3 particulars in the ring. Female referee Alicia Collins, Alicia
Yo, if you're in the building, just make sure that you hit that like button or leave me a comment so I know that you're here joining me on this live commentary. Much appreciated. If you're just joining, we are in the co-main event. Females fighting, showing their skills. And I see that it's 12 rounds. 12-round fight for the ladies tonight. Berman-Gardner and Bioden or Bodon. Check. Mic check 1 2 3. 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 Mic check. Check.
I like that she's taking her time, 3-minute rounds like we talked about for the first time, 12 rounds. But I would like her to get a little busier because I think Bedoin is initiating more of the activity here, especially doubling and tripling up on that jab. I'd like to see Alicia be first a few times. But credit to Bedoya for staying busy.
Maybe some sharp counters. Maybe some sharp counters will come in nicely. She's stepping back out of range. I like how they're both easing into the fight. Usually the female fights, it's a rush for the first round because it's 2 minutes for that round, but it allows the action to really start building nicely.
Okay, I think that's also kind of the knock on why the opponent, the people that don't like 3-minute rounds, is that we like how quickly they gotta get to work in the 2-minute rounds. We like that pace, and this extra round is just going to slow it down.
Check.
I know it depends, each fighter has their preference, but a lot of viewers like the speed of those 2-minute rounds.
For a round alongside Christina Archer and former cruiserweight and heavyweight champion David Hay. David, you have the championship pedigree, and Alicia Baumgartner wants to continue her reign as champion. Beautiful 1-2 splitting the guard of Gwen, and I mean, Alicia Baumgartner has a chance to really be a big crossover star with everything else she's doing in her career. She already is, you know, she's really making waves all over the world. You know, one in the UK, speaking about everyone, obviously in the States. It's because she puts on these boxing clinics. You can see these the clean shots right down the middle. She seems calm under the fire as well. Final minute of the second round, and there again, it's similar in terms of output, and similar in terms of throwing punches, and yet Baumgartner has the 3 moves. Final 30 seconds on us, and there's a right hand that lands for Baumgartner.
That's the shot that she's looking for. She would love to set it up off a fade or off the jab. Like you see her kind of almost jab step, almost like to use a basketball reference with that lead foot to kind of feint her in. But she'd love to land that overhand right. That's her best punch.
Agreed. I can feel this fight. Once in the last fight in July against Miranda, that she's really easing into it, and she's picking a punch a lot more, not getting caught. All right, let's check into the series scores.
We are back ringside with some of the star faces that you will see for NFL Christmas. We got Bert, Mike Harmon, Kenny Adams, Randy Marshall in the building. We're ringside. How we feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's a great event here in Miami. So I get to be in Miami with the crew, and then tomorrow morning fly with Miami and watch the U go do their thing. So it's not about college football. It's about the NFL. It's about boxing, right? It's about boxing.
It's about boxing.
Oh, you got to birthday you up in there.
Who do we have? Who do we have for the main event? Jake or Joshua? What do you got?
Jake, I'm an underdog. I'm not a cowboy. I'm a Bronco. I'm an underdog.
Yo, if you're just dropping into the building, make sure you leave me a quick little comment. Let me know you're in the building. Let me know you can hear me. Just give me a quick little comment in the live chat. I plan to do the live commentary for the main event. Right now we're in the co-main event. So I'm just chilling, letting people come in. Charles Granger, Hoop Sessions, man. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm assuming that you're probably watching it, Charles. If you're not, let me know. But I'm planning to go full-on live commentary during the main event. As of right now, third round of the co-main event. It's a nice little fight so far, though, this co-main event. Both of these ladies very sharp. And it's interesting to see them go 12 rounds potentially. Yo, Charles, did you use a different username before? Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you, man, dropping in and choosing to listen to me on your way back home. So, yeah, you haven't missed anything yet. Just in the co-main event right now, about to finish the third round of the co-main event. Baumgartner's really starting to connect, though. Really starting to put punches together. Yo, if you're dropping in, man, I appreciate you. Make sure you hit that like button. Feel free to stay a part of the conversation. I'm going to go full commentary once the fight or the main event starts. We're in the co-main event right now. Just finished round 3. About to start round 4. I mean, the flip side of this kind of debacle of an event, and I say that because Joshua's got to make sure that he ends this in spectacular fashion. But at least it's on Netflix. So if you already have a subscription, then you're good to go. At least they're not charging you $80 for pay-per-view. I wasn't going to go live, but I got lucky today. I got the day off, so I figured why not? And whoever's around that wants to tune in can tune in. This Baumgartner chick is really sharp, man. Jabs to the body well, in and out. Uses her left hand really, really well. Jabbing and hooking. Ooh, nice right hand. And that's the thing about these female fights, man, is that they can throw a lot of punches, a lot of volume, but they don't have the same power as men. And a lot of times women just get beat up, like bruised up, cut up, because it's more about volume than it is power. But in a lot of ways, for men, it's kind of like, a knockout can happen at any moment with any punch. But with women, it's like a proper fight. You know what I mean? Like they really sometimes just beat the shit out of each other. Yeah, Charles, I feel you, man. I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like 100%, bro. Like if this wasn't Netflix, there's no way I'm paying for this shit. I don't give a fuck if Anthony Joshua's on the card or not. But I feel like Netflix, Jake Paul, MVP, whatever the case may be, whoever's really the architect behind this, I think they know, right? Like at some point, people are not going to be paying those big pay-per-view numbers anymore for Jake Paul. So make a deal with Netflix. And it's good. I mean, that like I said, that aspect of it, it's good because back in the day when my dad was watching boxing in the days of Ali and Frazier, they watched that shit free on CBS or NBC. You know what I mean? So it's the way it should be. It grows the sport. But man, I'm just tired of the antics. Jake Paul was going to fight Tank. It's just weird. It's just all weird in the sense of he's going to fight a 135 pounder and now he's going to fight a 240 pound man. And it's just, I don't know, man. There's weight classes for a reason. And so for me, it's much more than just like, oh, Joshua should win because he has the better resume. He's, Olympic gold medalist. and all of the obvious shit, but also because you kind of saving the sport. Y- You know, it's the first time Jake Paul is actually stepping in there against a former heavyweight champion. Not, I mean, Mike Tyson, but come on, you know what I'm saying? Like a current former heavyweight champion who's still maybe not in his full prime, but definitely not out of his prime. Um, and yeah, so there's a lot riding on Joshua. I mean, in one of the interviews before the fight, I think it was the last interview they did. Jake Paul had a point. Like, all the pressure's on you, bro. I don't have any pressure. You know, if I win, I shock the world. If I lose, I'm expected to lose, and that's fact. Joshua took this fight basically saying, I'm going to go ahead and take care of you early, bro. Like, I'm sorry, but not sorry. Like, it's got to be done. If this shit goes beyond the fourth or fifth round, I'm going to be really disappointed. Yeah, bro. Silva won by knockout. Silva won by knockout, bro. I can't remember what round. I think two or three. Two or three. Yeah, and he did some Roy Jones Jr. shit. He kind of like he was kind of fainting and then he lifted up his left foot, and then just kind of dropped in a right uppercut. Woodley didn't see it, snapped his fucking head to the side, and he wasn't out by one shot, but he kind of stumbled. And then Silva kind of followed up with the left hook that caught him in the temple, dropped him. He got up, but he just wasn't stable. He barely made the 8 count. The referee was going to let him fight, but when he wiped his gloves off, you can kind of see Woodley was like borderline, like he was there, but he wasn't there, and the referee called it off. I mean, I'm not too disappointed by the referee's decision. I mean, maybe like, all right, let him take a few more punches to see what he does, but I can understand why the ref called it. He was definitely wobbled. Yeah, man, 50 years old. 50 years old, Silva pulled a fucking Roy Jones, like, footstep feint, right uppercut. And I don't know how much you know about the history of boxing, but Henry Armstrong used to do that shit all the time. Kind of like feint the left hook and then just like vicious, probably one of the most vicious uppercut fighters of all time. Him and Tyson, obviously, but Henry Armstrong was nasty with those uppercuts. Yeah, we're like in the fifth round now in this co-main event, and like I said earlier, like you can see the bruising, the swelling happening already. Like, women just beat the shit out of each other, and that's my only kind of like, not complaint, but maybe the one thing that I'm not like super excited for women fights, just because like they don't have the power to end it. And sometimes having the power to end it is a good thing. You know, people think of like the knockouts and it's not healthy for your brain and this and that, but getting punched like 150 times in one fight is also not good for your brain. Right. So sometimes just getting that one shot that kind of just rocks you, you actually kind of save yourself a lot of damage. And that ends the fifth round. So about halfway through this co-main event, they pan the cameras over to Jake Paul and Joshua. They're all gloved up, warming up, ready to go. So main event's just right around the corner. Yeah, especially nowadays. Nowadays, they definitely try to protect the fighters much more than they did back in the day, which I agree. It's a good thing. And, you kind of have to save fighters from themselves because we've seen the outcome of fighters taking way too much punishment. We know what happened to Muhammad Ali, obviously, and many others who probably suffer from shit that we don't really know. Like Shane Mosley, I think, in my opinion, definitely took a lot of damage uh, with his speech, and you can just kind of see it, like the cognitive function. Even Roy Jones Jr., to be honest, I think took a lot of damage, which is hard to imagine because Roy Jones's style, right? But I think definitely when he started getting knocked out by Antonio Tarver and really taking some damage. But yeah, I think you have to save the fighter from themselves. There's much more advancements in the scientific aspect of the type of damage that happens to the brain. Yeah. So, yeah, man, facts. Back in the day was brutal. All you got to do is go on YouTube and just watch Ali Frazier or even the a lot I mean even the Arturo Gotti and any fight really that any big fight that Arturo Gotti was in pretty much. But obviously Gotti and Ward fights, it's just brutal. Absolutely brutal. I mean, these ladies are just. I mean, they're going at it, and again, as I was saying, like when these female fighters are fighting, it's really hard to, as a referee, to see like when do I stop it because nobody's like clearly hurt a lot of times. There's not like a clear shot that wobbles them, and I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but in comparison to men, it's much different, right? And do you do you stop it based off of the fact that one fighter's taking too many punches? But that's a hard judgment call, especially if it's a championship fight. I mean, I can even speak for myself. When I was fighting when I was younger, just sparring a lot, and people don't realize that the headgear don't do shit for the brain moving in the skull. It helps prevent cuts and bruises. But when you get into heavy sparring quite often, you start to feel it. I used to wake up with a lot of headaches. I get dizzy, a lot of random dizziness, and just quite lethargic. And then after fights as well, like back in the day when I used to spar and do really intense sparring, and the few fights that I did have, I felt it. You know what I mean? And I think I was probably about 27, 28 when I was like, yeah, I can't do this, man. But this is exactly why I have so much respect for the sport, and I get so upset when people taint it and discredit it and do the stupid shit that they do in the sport. Oh. Yeah, what's your prediction, bro? What's your prediction and why? I'm curious to hear it, bro. I'm really curious to hear it. Yeah. I went over to BFTB's page and I said like, yeah, Joshua's got to end it no more than 3 rounds. And BFTB was like, man, fuck that. He's got to end it. Oh, down she goes. Right at the bell. Oh. What a shot. Right at the bell. Nice. Good referee, though. This female referee for this female fight is really good. Really good refereeing. So yeah, anyways, I was over at BFTB's. Oh, she made the count, by the way. So I think they're about to go to the 8th round. So BFTB was like, nah, fuck that. He's got to finish it in 1. And like, I get it. Like, I get the sentiment. But Jake can easily survive 2 rounds. Not gonna say easily, but he can definitely do it because he's smaller. And I plan to see him try to move around a lot. He's going to try to avoid, like, Joshua's not going to make himself tired trying to chase him down. You know, he'll cut off the ring and use his range, you know, and stuff like that. But I don't think he's going to be relaxed, right? But I see Jake moving a lot and, you know, try to do little sneaky shit, like trying to emulate something that Usyk was doing against Joshua. But I think by like the 3rd, maybe 4th round, Joshua's just going to catch him. That's what I see. But this idea of the 1st round, I just think based off the fact that Jake is not stupid, right? He's not going to go toe-to-toe with Joshua in the 1st round. He's going to try to move around, slide around, duck around, see if he can get Joshua to miss. And maybe he thinks that he can get Joshua a little bit tired. You know, it's not unmanageable. This referee is fantastic, man. One of the best refereeing I've seen in a long time, because some of these referees for the men is garbage. And a lot of time it's garbage because they got these old ass dudes in here that are like fucking 70 and 80 years old. But like kind of like younger, energetic, very vocal ref. I like that. Makes a huge difference in a fight. Huge. Yeah, by 5. I mean, that's fair, man. I think, you know, Jake is better than what a lot of people think he is, but he's not as good as Joshua, obviously. But he's better, I think, than what people give him credit for. He does train with high caliber heavyweights, you know, sometimes even elite level heavyweights. And he's been dedicated to the sport for the last 7 years. And he's more athletic than what people give him credit for. So just based off of that alone, athleticism can take you a long ways in boxing. You know, you may not have the IQ, You may not have the power or, other attributes, but athleticism, you can survive. I know that because I've been in that situation where I've been in sparring matches with guys that are a lot more experienced than me, just way more well-rounded. And after I take like a shot, I'm like, all right, this guy's solid, right? But because I'm super athletic, I can survive. I can move around. I can keep the jab out there. I can tie him up. I can try to sneak something in. But what ends up happening is, I'll get tired, right? And once I get tired, then they slowly start to chip away. So I think based off of that alone, Jake will survive longer than what people think. And I think 5 is a very well balanced prediction. I would say, yeah, I would say 4. I'm expecting a knockout by 4.
She did a lot of mental work, guys, to prepare for this fight as well. She talked to a psychologist. She did visualization every night. She listened to her recordings. She played out how the fight was going to go in her head. So she's bringing some of that mental toughness, trying to climb up, out of this hole against Baumgartner. So I give her credit for that as well. She's definitely shown some mental toughness, even though you can tell that she's been up class so far tonight.
Upstairs by Baumgartner. Controlling the center of the ring is flying the jab. Using it and there's Morgan parrying it. Trying to catch him shooting. Minute guy here tonight and watching with us interest across the Hall of Fame. We are honored to have Layla Ali with us tonight. Layla, what do you say to this fight?
You know what? I love what I see Alicia doing. She's taking her time. She's settling into these 3 minutes. She's a technical fighter, so she's setting it up. She's breaking Layla down. Looks to me like Layla mentally is struggling.
All right, we're in 9 of 12 right now of the co-main event. Yeah, that's a fair assessment, bro. Yeah. But not only Joshua's experience, but also just his strength and power. He's a much bigger man naturally. People forget that Jake Paul at one point was boxing at like what, 180, 175, 180. I think he's as big as it gets at 216 or whatever he weighed in at. And Joshua dropped weight, obviously, to make this fight happen. So he's just much bigger, much stronger, more power, and more experience. I mean, people think it doesn't matter, but trust me, it does. Wonder how many people that are in this crowd are rooting for Jake Paul. Plat Boy plays in the building. All good, bro. Got lucky today. Got a day off, and it's on Netflix, bro. So why not jump on the mic and whoever wants to stop by and chop it up, then cool. I'm not on here much anymore these days, but if I have the opportunity, I try to if I can. I was just telling Charles in the chat that like the one good thing about this fight is that it's on Netflix, right? So if you have a subscription, you can just turn it on and watch it. Because I sure as fuck am not going to pay $70 to watch this on pay-per-view. There ain't no damn way. Let me know who you got and why, bro. Give me your prediction. Because I've been seeing and hearing some crazy shit today. Before I went live, I was cruising around other channels, and I've been hearing some crazy shit. Around what round, bro? You got to tell me the round. You got to tell me the round, bro. If you're just stopping by, we're in the co-main event. 10 of 12. 10 of 12 of the co-main event. Yeah. I was over at BFTB's channel earlier before I came live, and I went to the comment section. I was like, yo, Joshua needs to end this by 3. And BFTB was like, nah, fuck that, bro. He's got to do it in 1. Look, if not scripted, because you never know with Jake Paul, man. You never know with this type of shit. If it's not scripted, Joshua, in my opinion, should get the knockout by 3. I say by 3. And the reason why I say 3 is because Jake Paul, he's going to move around a lot, you know, and I think his conditioning and his athleticism is good enough. It's at a high enough level to be able to survive. And my guess is that he's going to try to get Joshua to reach and swing and miss, thinking that Joshua might get tired. Because I think for Jake, right? Like, so for Joshua, it's like, I'm just going to wait, find an opening. I'm going to drop the fucking hammer and get this guy out. I mean, there's no really other way. At the end of the day, he's fighting a cruiserweight, barely a cruiserweight, because at one point in time, the guy was fighting at super middleweight. I don't really need to do anything technical or strenuous. So just going to wait to drop the fucking hammer and just be patient. But for Jake, he probably wants to take Joshua into deep waters. He keeps talking about knockout this, knockout that, fourth or fifth round. I don't believe anything that comes out of that dude's mouth. I think his real goal, and again, if this is not scripted, his real goal is to get Joshua into deep waters, 7th, 8th round, and then try to, you know, land a few big shots. And a lot of people are saying that if it even goes past 3, then it's already a fail for Joshua, but not necessarily. Because if Jake is just, I don't want to say running, because I hate using that word in boxing, running, but let's just say he's on the back foot and he's moving and, he's not allowing, Joshua's not going to chase the man around the ring. Like, he's not going to make himself tired on purpose. And if Jake is super cautious, he can stretch it 4 or 5 rounds, no problem, in my opinion. If he knows how to use the ring well, and that's part of his game plan, he can stretch the fight. So does it's just a matter of like if Joshua's getting clipped and he's swinging and missing badly and it goes into like round 5, 6, 7, then yeah, that looks bad. But if Jake is just avoiding a fight, it can be stretched. Yeah, that's true too. If the fight carries on too long, Joshua will chase him down and just unload on his ass at some point. It reminds me of a time when I sparred a heavyweight one time back when I was only 154 pounds at that time, and this bigger heavyweight wanted to spar me because he just wanted to spar a smaller guy because he was about to take a fight that um, he had to go up against a guy that was much smaller than him. So of course I did the sparring with the pretext of hey, you're like 100 pounds heavier, so like let's take it easy, and he did. But obviously with my movement and my athleticism, I just kind of kept sticking him and sticking him and sticking him and sticking him. And the sparring was supposed to be 5 rounds, but it ended up going like 8. And I think the guy got annoyed enough to where he just started walking me down with his hands up, and just started hitting me to the body over and over and over and over again. Um, and I had to call it. I was like, all right, my ribs were just getting fucked up. even even protecting, like it just so so heavy handed and so big. Um, and obviously, I was throwing my punches a little bit harder than I was earlier, but it didn't matter. I mean, at 154 pounds, he just high guard blocked that shit and just walked right through it. So that's a thing, right? That could happen too. Joshua may be patient for 2 or 3 rounds if Jake is trying to be on the back foot, but if he's like, you know what, this is going on too long, I'm just going to put my hands up and walk his ass down. Oh, oh, oh! It's a fight now in the 11th round. Has has Baumgartner got tired? This is that shit that everyone was talking about, extending these rounds. You extending these rounds, bro. Who did that extra road work? Who did that extra conditioning? Yo, if you're stopping in the building, man, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you let me know you're in the building. Leave a comment in the live chat. We're getting closer and closer to the main event. About to go to the final round of the co-main event. Final round, if you're listening. A guy came in here earlier saying that he was on the road listening and he couldn't watch the fight. So I appreciate you coming by to listen to my commentary. I will commentate the fight live, round by round, for however long it lasts. To be honest with you, I would love for it to be finished in the first round, so I get the fuck up out of here because I got to hit the gym. I got to do some last minute Christmas shopping. I ain't trying to sit here, to be honest, for a long, lengthy fight, scratching my fucking head on as to why Joshua ain't knocking this dude out. All right, 12th and final round of this co-main event. Baumgartner's got this in the bag on the scorecards. I mean, she probably lost that 11th round. She could probably lose this round too, but still be fine. But it ain't over till it's over. And not only is it 12 rounds, man, it's 3 minutes. Oh! Yeah. Baumgardner's got, I mean, she's got this fight in the bag. No need to take any unnecessary risk. Obviously, yeah, she's burning time by stepping in and grabbing. Final 90 seconds. Oh. Couple big swings there. I mean, she. Final minute. Last 30 seconds. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? This is your last. Oh, what a body shot. Oh, that body shot hurt her. Oh, she weak. Oh, she is just laying on her, bro. She is weak. Oh, she caught her breath and she came right back. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh. Nice fight. Nice fight. Nice fight. If you're stepping in, man, we're about to start this main event. I'm going to give you guys live commentary, punch by punch, round by round. So make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Stay a part of the conversation. Make sure you vote in the poll as well. Does Jake Paul pull the upset? Get the aircon turned on because it's about to get heated up in here. So we're going to get this decision, see who won that fight. And then hopefully we don't got to wait too long for the ring entrance and all that. Sometimes they be on that bullshit. Have us wait another hour before they enter the ring. But hopefully not, because that fight did go all 12. It wasn't like an early knockout. So shouldn't have to wait too much longer for this main event. Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul. Yeah, that was a nice fight. Great representation of women boxing there. Went all 12 rounds, 3-minute rounds. They proved that women can do it. The unofficial scorecard's 118-109. It's about right. Baydoin just didn't have. I don't know, man. She's kind of like a rough and tumble, kind of old school fighter. High guard, walks forward, tries to catch you as you're throwing punches. But Baumgardner was just far more athletic, much more precise, much more smooth, tactical. Waiting for the final scorecard of this co-main event. And then we have the main event right around the corner. $118-109. One judge had it 117 to 110. So yeah, Alicia Baumgardner, unanimous decision. Definitely the right decision. I think she either let her foot off the gas that 11th round, or maybe she's getting a little bit tired. But she weathered the storm there in that 12th, bit down on her gum shields, and got the job done.
Thank you very much here with the champ, Alicia Baumgartner, after another spectacular and dominant performance. You told us on Wednesday in July, after your last fight, you gave yourself a B. What's your grade for tonight?
Listen, I gave myself an A plus, and I first want to say thank you to my Lord, Savior Christ, Jesus. Man, listen, it's been an emotional roller coaster, keeping my feelings and my emotions in check. This win was for my dad, and I give myself an A plus for showing up.
Can you tell us why it was so emotional?
You know, I buried my dad last year, and so it's been a hard just transition period. But one thing about myself, I push through, I believe in myself, I have faith, and that's why I'm here. It's about the journey and not the moment. So I persevere through everything.
Well, again, very dominant, and it seemed as though midway through you were very close to putting her away. Were you surprised that she hung in there, and are you disappointed that you couldn't do it?
And they're showing these highlights, man. Broomgarter was throwing some really good body shots, which I definitely think put some water in the basement for sure.
You also had to overcome, I think, a little adversity in the 11th round. How badly did she hurt you?
She didn't hurt me at all. Hell no. No.
You get a little dicey there for a second, no?
No, listen, I'll be honest, she did not hurt me, but it was fun though. I enjoyed it for sure.
What about the 3-minute rounds? Do you want to keep doing that?
Listen, I fucking love it. 3 minutes is meant for me, it's meant for my style. So listen, Carolina want that smoke. Big girl, you better come with 3 minutes to get that work.
All right, so you're referring to Caroline. Who is next for the ball?
Listen, there's a lot of girls lined up. I know for my next fight, it looks like a main event, so we need that main event fighter.
Jesus.
We don't know yet. MVP knows though.
All right, well, we'll leave it at that. Miami, please give it up for
Razor 5313 in the building. What's good, bro? Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Are you watching the fight, or are you just listening in, Razor? If you're just stopping in, make sure you hit that like button. Helps me out. You guys know I don't come live very often, so I appreciate the support. And at any point, if you really enjoy the commentary, you could click the link that is pinned to donate. Any type of donation is much appreciated. I'm trying to motivate myself to come back on the mic more often. I really, really, really am, but I just been really disappointed with boxing as of late. It's hard for me to wrap my head around the idea that at one point in time, Jake Paul was going to fight a 135 pounder. Now he's going to fight a 245 pounder or whatever it is. And I just get exhausted at the antics. But I'm trying to motivate myself. Yeah, I got you, bro. Yeah, man, I appreciate that. I was saying earlier to Plat Boys, like, if it wasn't on Netflix, I wouldn't be watching it. That's for sure. Ain't no way I'm gonna pay pay-per-view for an Anthony Joshua Jake Paul fight. Now, a Bud Crawford and Canelo fight, that's different. I would pay to watch that. And I did pay to watch that. All right, so if you're just joining, catching up, or you're not able to watch it live, they just finished the co-main event. We're about to start the main event here in just a few moments. And if you did miss the co-main event, it was the women's boxing. Great fight, went all 12 rounds. And William Gardner got the unanimous decision. Make sure you vote in the poll too, guys. If you guys haven't voted in the poll, let me know. Do you think Jake Paul is going to pull the upset? Yes or no? I'm curious to see if there's anybody. It looks like we got at least one, maybe two people saying that Jake Paul is going to pull the upset. Hey, look, over here, I'm not like other boxing channels, man. I welcome all opinions and thoughts as long as they are, educated and not trolling. Then I'm happy to hear your thoughts on why you think Jake Paul could actually pull this out. I genuinely would love to know. If you're dropping in, I appreciate you. Make sure that you hit that like button. Stay a part of the conversation. Kick back, relax. I'm going to commentate this fight live, punch by punch, round by round. We'll see how long it lasts. Some people say it's going to be done early, like first round is going to be done and dusted. Some people say, hey, Jake's going to stretch this. He's going to make it a fight. And who knows, right? At the end of the day, despite what the experts say and whatever the betting odds are, it's boxing, right? Anybody can get hurt. Anybody can land a punch. And we've seen crazier shit, to be honest. Jake Paul winning would definitely be a shock, no doubt about it. But I can't say that it's the most shocking I've ever seen. I've seen some pretty crazy upsets my many years of watching boxing. Do I think tonight's going to be another one of those nights? I don't. But, hey, I'm here watching it to see if it's a possibility. I mean, if this fight goes to distance and Jake Paul wins by decision, this fight is 100% fixed. And I put it on everything. I don't care if it's for free or somebody pays me. I'm not watching a Jake Paul fight ever again. And as a matter of fact, because Joshua is willing to participate in a staged or rigged fight, I'm never watching any of his fucking fights either, because he would be a disgrace to boxing. This isn't like, Mayweather putting on exhibition fights or something like that. Like, you are a bona fide heavyweight champion, one of the best of this generation, and you're gonna just rig a fight for what exactly? For money? Just because I want to do it? And one thing that made me suspicious about Joshua was when he was being interviewed, he said, I don't care what people think. I'm going to do what I want to do. It's my life. And basically insinuating that, like, yeah, if I do decide to sign a contract to rig a fight, I don't care as long as I get my money. Like, I hope that's not what he meant, but it definitely made me raise an eyebrow when people were questioning him about, like, hey, there's a lot of people spreading rumors that the fight could be rigged or staged or whatever the case may be. And, he was saying, like, oh, well, whatever, man. I ain't worried about what other people think. Why would you respond like that? Like, if it's me and I'm the heavyweight champ, I'm the guy that is I'm literally representing boxing. Jake ain't representing boxing. He's trying to, right? He's trying to carve his name into the conversation. But as of right now, like you're the guy, right? So why would you reply like that? You should be like, nah, man, listen, there ain't nothing in the contract or any stipulation saying that it's staged or rigged other than the weight that I had to agree to. This is a fight, and I'm going to come out here. I'm going to knock this guy out. Like, I'm going to end it. I'm going to end Jake Paul on Netflix. That's how you respond. You don't say, oh, well, whatever. I don't care what other people think. Like, what? So that's my only concern. Yeah, that's the thing. It's Joshua, right? It's not an I don't know, man. Is there something about Joshua that I feel like I don't know why, but I can't trust him 100%. He really showed a lot of emotional instability when he acted the way he acted in the Usyk fight, especially the second fight when he went on that long ass rant and just made a fool of himself in the middle of the ring in front of all those people and in front of the whole world, and just different things that he has said and represented over the recent years. It just makes him look really suspect, in regards to his character. And I hate to say that about anybody, but the proof is in the pudding. I'm not making this shit up. I mean, this guy literally has said very suspect shit. So, but here's the thing though. He has a right, or he has the opportunity to set all of that straight tonight. He has the opportunity to basically say, I am boxing. I love boxing. I take this shit serious. I'm not going to let some dude like Jake Paul to come in and take me out. Like, I earned my position here. I went through the Olympics. I climbed the ladder. I got my heavyweight championship belts. Like, I'm not going to let this guy come in here and stain the legends of the sport, all the men who came before me to be recognized as a heavyweight great, like Lennox Lewis sitting right here ringside commentating. Like, Lennox Lewis is, in my opinion, one of the best heavyweights of all time. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. And as as a heavyweight yourself, Joshua represents all of these guys: Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman, all of these guys, the blood, sweat, and tears that they put in that ring, the 15 rounds that they fought. You can't let a guy like Jake Paul go in there and beat you, or even take it the distance, or leave any speculation of the fight being staged, rigged, pre-planned, scripted, whatever the case may be. You got to knock this guy out. Like, I want to see him on his backside like Tyson Fury was in the first fight against Wilder. That's how I want to see Jake Paul tonight. And I don't hate Jake Paul or nothing like that. I see what he's doing. I respect his hustle. I respect his grind. He's figured out a way to not take the traditional route to be recognized as an icon in the sport of boxing. And that takes a lot of courage. It takes a lot of planning. It takes a lot of ambition. But you can't dispute the fact of, although that was a clever move to reroute the progress to be in the position that you're currently in, and that's going up against Joshua. You fought old guys, you fought retired fighters, you fought MMA fighters. Like, you can't dispute that. I don't know, lack of better words, like silliness, right? You can't just turn a blind eye to it and just say, "Oh yeah, that's cool." Nah, it ain't cool, man. It ain't cool to everybody else that did it the hard way. And of course, this is all in my opinion. Call me a hater if you want to call me a hater. But hey, if Jake Paul knocks out Joshua, and it doesn't look like Joshua's taking a dive, I'll give Jake Paul my credit. You know, I'll give him full credit, and I'll eat crow. But I don't think that's going to happen. Wow. The poll's interesting. 40% says they believe Jake Paul is going to pull the upset. Obviously people are just clicking the button and not explaining why, but honestly, I'm genuinely curious on how you think Jake Paul pulls the upset. Leaving the possibility of this fight being, rigged, how does Jake Paul win the fight? When you look at Lennox Lewis, right, and you were just to see him walk down the street, obviously he's a big dude. Don't get me wrong, but just the way he talks with his like smooth accent, and he's all like got his suit on, he's got that little hat on that he always wears. You wouldn't think that he's like a heavyweight former champion, like not just a former champion, but like one of the all-time greats. Like if you're of a younger generation who never watched Lennox Lewis fight and you saw him walking around, you probably think, yeah, he just looks like a tall gentleman who just happens to be a big guy, but you would never suspect that this guy at one time was one of the best heavyweights that the world has ever seen. You know what I mean? He's kind of got that look like he's somebody's grandpa or something. It's like you run into him at Walmart or some shit. It's not like Tyson, right? Like even Tyson nowadays, he just the way he carries himself, you're kind of like, yeah, this guy sees some shit, you know? And some of these interviews are corny and awkward as fuck. Dude, if you're stepping in, make sure you hit that like button. Let people know you're in the building. Leave a quick little comment. Let me know who you think's going to win and why. We are sitting here patiently waiting for the main event to start. I will do my live commentary, punch by punch, round by round. So, again, hit that like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. And for those of you who haven't seen me on the mic in a while, this is one way that I can be motivated to come on here more often. Is just show a little bit of support. It's much appreciated.
Yeah, really all the time. When are they going to see me? Every time. Where are they going to see me? Everywhere. Because I'm everywhere. Mostly Monday Night Raw. Every single Monday. People say I'm part-timer. Why am I showing up every Monday? But Monday Night Raw on Netflix. You know the drill.
That's all you need to know. We can drop the mic, but I'm not going to do that just yet because someone that you may know is going into that main event. Your brother. Any words for Jake?
I do have words for him. I'm sorry, this is not the answer you want. I'm going to say something.
Yeah, and Razor, Joshua never wanted to fight Wilder in his prime. But who knows? If he loses to Jake Paul in this fight, maybe he's ready to fight Wilder then.
Thank you. Jake, he's got words for you. Let's go.
inside, and Christina, the moment of truth is almost upon us. What will ultimately determine the outcome of this fight in your estimation?
Well, in my estimation, what will determine the outcome of this fight is the first clean punch that lands, right? How does Jake Paul respond to getting punched by a real heavyweight? And how does Anthony Joshua respond as well to getting caught? He does get caught by a punch from Jake Paul. Those are the questions I have. When that first clean punch lands, I think we'll find out a lot about how that moment can define the rest of the fight.
David, what do you think about a guy like Jake Paul having the audacity, the spalding size cojones to step into the ring against a guy like Anthony Joshua? I think it's an amazing thing for him to test himself. This is the ultimate challenge, fighting someone, 6'6", Olympic gold medalist, two-time heavyweight champion of the world, and he's coming in here with full confidence. He's got a team, he's got strategy. We were talking to Cody earlier on today, and he was saying that he was surprised at how tough Jake Paul was. He was landing shots, and he said he was a real heavyweight. He's got strategy, he's calm, and he's got a big right hand. If he can land that on Anthony Joshua, who knows what could happen? Jackie Joshua's coming into this fight after 15 months layoffs, after losing his last fight to Daniel Dubois. If there's ever a time to put up a sizable upset, it's tonight. And Christina, there are people who are saying, wait a minute, Jake Paul could have knocked out the 58-year-old version of Mike Tyson. How are we supposed to expect him to knock out a 36-year-old British workhouse in Anthony Joshua?
Well, how did we even get here in the first place? It's that delusional optimism that Jake Paul has that has gotten to this point. And I'm not saying he's going to be able to do that tonight, but everything this man has said that he has wanted to do, everything that he has manifested in his life, he has made come to fruition. That's why he's here on Netflix in only his 14th professional fight, headlining worldwide in front of millions of people. If he speaks into existence, he believes it's possible. Now, do the rest of the world believe that? I'm not too sure about that.
And David Hay loves this shit, man. David Hay loves this commentating. That's the thing. That's the thing about Jake Paul, though, man. He's got this kind of strange confidence about him, and I don't think he's going to last long in this fight. But I do believe that he's confident that he can win.
Very strong guy. I saw the fight from my vision in ayahuasca, right? So it coming to life just like felt so natural. This was the perfect moment of entertainment and doing something that never been done before, ushering in a new era of boxing. Every fight became a reality after Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fought, and 125 million people watched. Because every boxer realized this is the biggest show in town. This is the greatest boxing match of all time. Crazy. Show my kids this one day. All it happened. Jake Paul beat Mike Tyson.
Yeah, no doubt about it, bro. No doubt about it at all. Ali was looking real nice tonight, especially for her age.
Timberland, four-time Grammy Award winner, legendary producer, also in the house for this fight tonight. Waiting for the main event. We are in Miami. He had to be here. The boss, Rick Ross, also in the building. Let's see who else we got here tonight. Oh, okay, one of the ladies that we have to thank for this fight happening here on Netflix, Bella Bajaria, who is the chief content officer here on Netflix. Thanks for the opportunity. Bella, Betty Safdie in the building too, Hollywood director. I'm sure you know him. So good to have him with us in the building tonight as well. And how about him, Matt Ryan? He's got a big show coming up on Netflix, Unwrapped, a Christmas crowd work special. So we're looking forward to that one. Let's see who else. Oh, Teofimo Lopez is in the building. WBO Ring Magazine titles.
Yeah, I got you, Plat Boys. Just sitting here waiting patiently as they get ready to start this main event. Just sitting here thinking, like, it's not a matter, it should be a conversation of, it's not a matter of if Joshua will win, it's when. All right, we finally got the anthems going. Let's get this party started.
To perform God Save the King, please welcome Sky Bishop.
Okay, Sky Bishop. She look like a Barbie doll.
And now, to perform the national anthem of the United States of America, the Strong Spangled Banner. Please welcome multi-platinum singer and songwriter from Fifth Harmony, Ally Brooke.
Oh, she looks nervous. Ally Brooke about to sing the national anthem. Just checking the NBA scores right quick. Minnesota might beat OKC. All right, national anthem's being played. We're right around the corner. If you're stopping in, man, make sure you hit that like button, vote in the poll. This is your last chance to vote in that poll before it's all said and done. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, stay a part of the conversation. I'm going to give you guys live commentary, punch by punch, round by round. We'll see how long it lasts. My official prediction is Joshua by KO before the 4th round. I think 3rd, maybe 4th round. We got some Jake Paul fans in the building. People shouting USA out in the crowd. You know those are Jake Paul people for sure. Considering that Joshua is from the UK. Tail of the tape. Jake Paul 28, Joshua 36. Jake Paul is 6'1", and Anthony Joshua is 6'6". Weight is 216 to 243, and the reach 76 inches to 82 inches. It's basically a heavyweight versus a cruiserweight. Not an exhibition fight. 8 rounds, 3 minutes per round, 10-ounce gloves. Those 10-ounce gloves definitely favor Joshua. All right, Anthony Joshua about to make his ring walk. That's kind of true, though. The only way to beat Jake Paul is... Oh, and I want to say this, too, before this fight starts. I forgot to mention it earlier. I think it's possible that Anthony Joshua is going to save his knockout punch until a little bit later. I think he might just beat up Jake Paul, guys. I think that he may just sit back, use his length and size, and just really beat him up and wait to take him out until later rounds. And for me, that's satisfying. You know, yeah, getting a first-round knockout, it's kind of like, it's cool, you know, but it's kind of like, yeah, kind of expected, but you really send a message, because if he knocks him out in the first round, people will say, like, yeah, he's bigger, stronger, heavyweight champ, this, that, or whatever. Like, okay. And I don't really think people will look at Jake Paul in a negative way, and Jake Paul will 100% be back if he gets knocked out early. But if he gets beat up for 4 or 5 rounds and then gets knocked out, it'll be hard for Jake Paul to come back from that. Oh, 100%. If Joshua loses this fight, I never want to see his face again. All right, Jake Paul about to make his way into the ring. Showing that replay of Nate Robinson, that shit just that was sad. That was sad. Jake Paul wearing the Hulkamania outfit with the yellow glasses. Oh man, boxing's crazy nowadays with these wild ass walk-ins. Maybe I'm just too old. All right, man. I'm ready for this shit to get over with. Let's get this shit over with, bro. I'm over it. I'm over it. Let's get it done. Who the hell is that guy? The ring announcer. That guy's a fucking beast. That guy's huge. Christopher Young, referee. I don't think I've ever seen him. Hopefully he doesn't have anything to do in this fight. Maybe he's just, quick paycheck. Oh, Anthony Joshua, don't let the boxing world down, bro. Please. We've seen you do some questionable shit. We've praised you, we've criticized you, but it's all out of love, man. We've always wanted the best from you. This is your chance to redeem yourself and let the people know that you're not going to be persuaded by money or fame, and you got a job to do, and that is to knock Jake Paul the fuck out. Don't disappoint us, die-hard fans, man. Don't do it. For Frazier, for Ali, for Larry Holmes, for Sonny Liston, for all of the great heavyweights that came before you. Don't do it, bro. Get the job done. Jake, you've had your fun. You made a lot of money. Some people would argue that you have changed the game and they support you. They love your hustle. Some would argue that you made a mockery out of the sport. And you talk a lot about God and divine intervention, and you're destined to be in this position, and you envision this moment, and you're in this moment for a reason. You believe you're special and different, God gifted. Well, we're about to find out. We are about to find out. I want people to remember, those who watch this live, you don't play boxing. All right, announcing the fighters are finally done. They're about to do their final face-off, get the instructions from the referee, and it is go time. If you're just stopping in, make sure you hit that like button for me. Much appreciated. The fight is about to begin. The size difference is crazy. It's just... All right, let's do this. All right, round one. Jake Paul comes out as I expected, moving around the ring side to side. Joshua doing his traditional high guard, being patient, kind of following Jake. I knew Jake was going to come out this way. I mentioned it earlier for those who came in. He's going to move around. No punches thrown yet here in the first 40 seconds or so. Jake's going to fight small. Maybe he thinks he can take a book out of Usyk or page out of Usyk's book. But does he have the pedigree and the experience and the wisdom of a Usyk? A light jab there by Paul. It continues to go side to side, bouncing around. This is an 8-round fight. Steps in with the right hook to the body, but Joshua does a little quick left hook counter. So it looks like that's what Jake's plan is going to be, in and out. It looks like so far Jake's game plan is to take this the distance and win a decision, even though he talked all this shit about knockouts. Let's not forget Jake Paul does spar against high-level heavyweights. They kind of get tangled up a little bit. Both of them go down. Kind of awkward situation. Double jab to the body by Jake Paul, but nothing too strong yet. I think so far, Jake Paul's thrown one heavy body shot. Other than that, not much happening. Obviously, Joshua has a huge advantage when they tie up with the size and the height. Jake Paul continuing to go side to side. You can tell he's trying to fight a fight where he can go in and out, reaching left hook, kind of graze Joshua a little bit. And you can kind of see, though, Joshua's seeing what Jake's trying to do, and he's trying to time. Then finally, Joshua throws a right hand down the pipe, hits Jake on the shoulder. Maybe he just threw that so Jake knows and feels, oh, big right hand by Joshua. Jake took it well. I think partially blocked. Don't forget, this whole moving strategy, Joshua went up against something like that 2 times against Usyk. So it's not like he hasn't seen somebody do that before with the movement. And similar size. I think Usyk's still a little bit bigger than Jake, but still, it's nothing that Joshua hasn't seen before. That's the end of round 1. And if we're going to the distance, remember, guys, 8 rounds here. I think that this fight should be at least 10. But for an 8-round fight, if it's Jake's plan to go the distance, he could have won that first round. So maybe you take that first round to kind of figure out, okay, what's Jake going to try to do here? Obviously, now you know after a round that he's going to try to move around, pot shot, score points. So now, has Joshua figured out the timing? Round 2 begins. Did he figure out the timing and the distance? You guys don't listen to me enough, man. This is why I don't go on here on these airwaves as much as I used to, because I don't get the appreciation I deserve. I told everybody, Jake's going to come out here and move. He's going to move a lot. Don't listen to none of that bullshit about he's going to knock him out. All he's got to do is survive 8 rounds, guys. That's all he's got to do. And I told everybody right here leading up to this fight during the co-main event, I said, Jake's going to come in there and he's going to move side to side, little looping shots. He'll jab to the body. And all he's got to do is avoid Joshua's power. But what I also mentioned is that it's just a matter of time. All that moving, Joshua may at some point, it might take him 4 or 5 rounds, but at some point say, I'm just going to walk forward with my hands up. I'm going to let him hit me. I'm going to smother him, and I'm just going to start punching him anywhere. It doesn't matter where, just anywhere. Elbows, shoulders, top of the head, and break him down a little bit. Now, it's not like Joshua's being outclassed. But, yeah, Jake is moving well. He's a smaller guy. Nice little combination, though, by Jake. 1-2 to the body and came up to the head. Nice reaching right hand by Joshua, but nothing significant. Joshua needs to time when Jake Paul comes in. You know, he's, I think, in my opinion, giving too much respect to Jake. And covering up when Jake comes in. And that could be just, you know, he's been knocked out before. There might be that memory there. A little bit of hesitation. Lines up a right hand, but Jake lowers his shoulder and ties him up right away every time Joshua tries to load up at the right hand. Joshua needs to throw the jab a little bit more. He needs to throw the jab a little bit more. You can see that Joshua is just trying to land a big right hand. There you go. Joshua starts to let his hands go a little bit more here at the end of this second round. And I don't know. Again, guys, if this fight goes the distance, which I said earlier, I don't believe none of that bullshit Jake is talking about. I'm going to knock him out. He just got to survive 8 rounds, guys. All he's got to do is score just enough points and stay out of the way. That's it. And I told people, it's not that he's not in shape. It's not that he's not athletic. He's got enough athleticism and enough conditioning to move around. It's just a matter of, can Joshua time him and catch him? Round number 3. Yeah, you can see a lot of pot shotting by Jake. He'll throw something. He doubled up with a little kind of loose jab and then ties him up right away. What Joshua needs to do is stop headhunting, stop looking for the big right hand, and start actually boxing. You know, give Jake a little bit of respect. Step in with that jab. Start going to fucking Jake's body with the jab. Left hook to the body. You know, and then let the right hand come, because now you're just telegraphing. You're not giving Jake any respect. You think that he ain't on your level, so you're just trying to throw a big right hand. Okay? That didn't work for 2 rounds. So now we're in round 3, and now you got to treat Jake like you would any other fighter and start breaking his ass down. Oh, step in, and Jake tried to throw in a sneaky right uppercut, just missed. I think the height didn't work in his advantage that time, but he's trying to be tricky. Ooh, step in jab. That kind of palmed Joshua's face. He kind of hit Joshua with the palm of his glove. Nice inside work by Joshua. Nice body shots, nice sneaky uppercuts. That's what Joshua needs to do. Work on the inside. Use your size. Beat him up. There you go. Good jab by Joshua. There you go. Exactly. That's what you do. Big jab. That's what Joshua needs to do. Heavier jabs, body, head. Get the right hand in there. There you go. Now he's listening to me. Yeah, I can see Joshua getting irritated of Jake Paul putting his head down and trying to tie him up. And I want to point this out too. This is elite level shit here, guys. Joshua has went the distance against one of the most conditioned fighters in boxing, in Alexander Usyk. Joshua is a well-conditioned athlete. Jake Paul has shown fatigue in previous fights. All this moving around, jabbing, moving, and not just that, the tie-ups. the wrestling. Things move much faster in a real fight than it does in sparring. You can try to simulate it as much as you can in sparring, but it ain't like a real fight. With all the adrenaline, it moves faster. The referee breaks you up faster. There's just more involved in a real fight. Things are just moving way faster, which means you can get tired faster, right? A lot of fighters at this level are surprised that they get tired than they do in training in a real fight because things are just simply moving much, much faster. And Jake has shown endurance issues in fights before, but the opponents that he fought just were not dangerous enough. And I think, you know, the philosophy here by Jake too is that I gotta be a constant moving target. I can't just stand in front of him. A lot of guys that Joshua knocks out are just, you know, a stationary target, which is good, which is a good. Oh, nice jab by Joshua starting the fourth round. I'm glad that Joshua is starting to listen to me now and using that jab. What is Jake doing? He tries to grab the leg like he's trying to go for a fucking MMA move or something. But the thing is like at 215 pounds, nice step in right hand by Jake Paul, but Joshua took it well. Nice jab by Paul. Joshua took it well again. And now he goes down towards the leg again. I don't know why he's doing that because he could injure Joshua's knee by doing that shit. It's like he's going for a single leg takedown or something. But the thing is, at 218 pounds doing that, he's making himself more tired at picking himself up off the fucking canvas every time. It's weird. If you're just dropping in, man, I'm giving live commentary of this fight. Make sure you hit that like button for me. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Stay a part of the conversation. We're in round number 4. A couple of big punches by Jake. A couple by Joshua too. But clearly Jake is trying to move around a lot. But Jake is just falling down a lot. Real awkward falls and slips. But again, as I mentioned, every time you fall down, you got to pick yourself up. That takes energy. Oh, nice sneaky right uppercut by Joshua. Jake may have felt that. He backed up a bit. Will conditioning play a factor? Joshua, in my opinion, is an elite level athlete. Down goes Jake again. I don't know why he keeps falling down. I think it's because his legs are getting a little bit tired. But the problem is that he keeps going down and trying to grab Joshua's leg. He's falling on Joshua's leg while Joshua's leg is straight, and that type of weight on a straight leg can seriously injure you. But now Jake is there's a pause in the fight. Jake Paul is seemingly complaining about a possible low blow. I didn't see it, but he's saying he went down because of a low blow. Let's see the replay. Joshua steps in, jab. Oh, okay. Yeah, he fell down and landed into Joshua's knee. I don't understand why you're falling and then trying to grab on to his leg like that. I think he's trying to be sneaky and get a little extra rest time. That's my opinion. Nice left hook by Jake. Steps in, loops it around. And he falls down again. Falls down again. Jake Paul keeps falling down into Joshua's legs. That's like 4 falls here in the 4th round by Jake Paul. This is boxing, bro. This is boxing. Not fucking MMA or weird wrestling backyard bullshit. That ends the 4th round. It was just weird, guys. This is weird. Like, Jake Paul does land a couple decent looping shots, and then he just falls down. He falls down into Joshua's fucking legs. Wow. Leave a comment in the live chat. Let me know what you think, but this is not boxing for me. I've never seen somebody fall down on the floor this many times in my life. Like, and I've watched hundreds and hundreds of rounds of boxing in my life. But I'm telling you guys, it seems, and I don't want to say that Jake is trying to do some, borderline sneaky shit, but it seems like he's falling into Joshua's legs. Like he's trying to injure him. All right, we're in the 5th round now. I can see, I can kind of see the look on Joshua. Ooh, nice big right uppercut by Joshua as Jake tries to be sneaky and come in, and down goes Jake Paul again. Jake Paul, when I say going down, it's like he's trying to buy time. Weird. Like, who told him to do this? Looping right hand by Jake. Ooh, nice body shot by Joshua. There's a little bit of a fight breaking out now. You can see Jake wants to throw that overhand right and catch it over the jab of Joshua. But it doesn't look like Joshua's too worried about it. And he's just waiting. Ooh, nice body shots. Oh, that hurt Paul with the right. Oh. Some crazy wobbling by Jake Paul, and he goes down on a knee again. Now he finally calls a knockdown. Finally. It's the body shots, guys. It's the body shots by Joshua that I think really took the legs out of Paul. Ooh, big right hand. Down goes Paul again. Big right hand by Paul. Jake, he's down, but he took it pretty well, all things considered. He took it well. He's wobbly. Can he survive this 5th round? This is where experience comes into play. This is where you're a world champion for a reason. Ooh! Biggest difference right now is that Jake's punches don't have the same effect that Joshua's punches do. I mean, Joshua has taken some flush shots, guys, some super flush shots, and just ate them like a fucking chalupa from Taco Bell. Just ate it. And now he's starting to unload on Jake. And Jake survives the round. But his legs are absolutely shot. His legs are absolutely shot right now, and I know that feeling. I've been in that situation where it's like the upper body feels okay. I can still throw punches, but my legs just don't move anymore. Like they're caught in quicksand. And I honestly think it's the body shots that have really taken the toll out of his legs. It's like Teddy Atlas used to say, you go to the body, you hit the elbows, you hit the shoulders, the body, guys, is not necessarily just the stomach or the ribs. It's your elbows, it's your shoulders, it's the back of your shoulder, it's the top of your head. It's anything that you can hit, you hit it when you're the bigger guy. And I think that is what has affected Jake Paul's legs and taken the steam out of the engine. Nice right hand, left hook by Joshua. It doesn't look like Joshua's playing around anymore. Jake Paul reaches with a double jab. His legs are completely gone. A little bit. Oh, down he goes with another right hand. His legs are done. It really reminds me of Wilder and Fury. What was it? The third fight where Wilder just didn't have his legs anymore. Even though he had the will to fight, he just didn't have the legs under him anymore. I mean, when you don't have legs, you can't move around like you were earlier in the fight anymore. You got to stand toe to toe, unfortunately. You got to save your legs as much as you possibly can. And maybe and hopefully, out of desperation, Joshua will tire himself out by trying to knock you out. Ooh, big right hand. Down goes Jake again. And he's out. I feel like the referee really counted that a little bit fast, but the knockout was coming. It was coming anyway. Usually a referee's count is like 1, 2, 3. That last and he did that the previous counts, but that last count he was like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like he didn't want to call it, but he called it. One big factor was that Jake's punches just didn't affect Joshua. That's another huge factor here that people may not talk about. It got to a point in the fight where Joshua just like, you know what? He's just not strong enough to hurt me. And he just started walking through everything. In the beginning, he wasn't sure the first 2 or 3 rounds, but then he was like, all right, I've been up in there against guys that have hit me a lot harder before. And that gave him the confidence to just start sitting down on his punches. Yeah, also, that's another one is the Conor versus Floyd one. Yeah, Conor's legs gave out. But yeah, the legs were completely shot. And here's the thing, that whole moving around stuff, and I can say that because I'm, back when I used to box a lot, I was a mover, kind of not quite like Caleb Plant, but similar. And I love to move and listen, guys. Once the legs go, it's game over, usually. And this is why fighters like Floyd Mayweather and others who are renowned for their endurance do so much leg work. They do so much road work. They just run. They build up that resistance in the legs. And Jake Paul, I mean, he looks like obviously he's not naturally a 200 and whatever he was. I mean, in the fight, he's probably at least 220, 225. And I feel like that because he's 6'1", he can pull it off. But it's not a comfortable weight for him. A comfortable weight for him is probably something closer to 200 pounds. And that extra weight takes its toll too. Yeah, that was a big right hand. Jake knew it. And I think Jake I think he probably could have got up because he wasn't knocked out cold, but I think Joshua just kind of took his heart there, right there at the end. And Jake didn't really want to get up anymore. He knew he was outmatched. And he knew, like, here's the thing, too, about boxing, guys. When you punch a guy in the face as hard as you can and they just look at you, that crushes your soul in boxing. And that's another factor to it. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed my commentary. I might stay on here just a little bit more, but not too much longer. Feel free to leave me your guys' thoughts. And let me know what you thought about the fight. I mean, I told you guys that Jake was going to come out and move around. And he did exactly that. And it looked okay for a first couple of rounds. But I think the turning point was when Jake threw a couple really nice shots, a few left hooks, a right hand over the top, and Joshua just took it. I mean, he's just eating that shit, just, and that took it out of him. And then the overall accumulation of the body work started to put the water in the basement. His legs started slowing down. He couldn't move like he was moving in the first and second rounds. And if you can't move against a guy who's much bigger and stronger than you, you're going to be in big trouble. Now, here's another thing. Now that we've seen this fight, how do you think Jake would have done against Tank? Mangus Allen in the building. What's good, bro? Kaz, my guy. What's good, man? One of the original subscribers to the channel. Good to see you. Yeah, I predicted fourth or fifth round. So the other guy in here, Charles, also I think he said 5. So we got pretty close. I knew that I knew that Jake was going to move around a lot and avoid and pot shot for at least 2 or 3 rounds, and that's what he did. I'm curious what BFTB will say, because he said that if Joshua doesn't win by the first round, he Yeah, so Joshua calls out Fury. That's a good point, though, is that Joshua did have a long layoff. But, I mean, still. But still, I mean, he's expected to perform well even with that layoff. But if he was a little bit more active, then he probably would have got Jake out there a little bit earlier. Oh, 15 months, not 50. I was like, yeah, 50. It definitely wasn't 50. Yeah, 15 months out of the ring. Yeah, I mean, I guess in a way you got to give Jake credit for stepping in there, and he finally took the challenge that everybody was clamoring for him to do, and fight a real boxer. He finally did it, and the experience showed tonight. But real warrior went in there, got dropped multiple times, got up. Yeah, yeah, that's true, Charles. I mean, he lost convincingly, but it was a good enough performance that the heart and determination is going to be respected enough that he'll be back in the ring for sure. He just said that he thinks that his jaw is broken. I am Trill Will in the building, bro. What's good, man? Long time no see. I'm surprised you're not going live for this fight, but then again, I understand why you're not going live for this fight. Yeah, guys, final thoughts here. I gave you guys my commentary. Hope you guys enjoyed it. For those who stuck around to listen to the commentary, I was getting frustrated there for a bit with the whole falling down and like falling down into Joshua's legs, which is dangerous. Joshua could have been seriously injured doing that type of shit. But as far as the prediction is concerned, I told people that it's not going to end in the first. It's probably not going to end in the second because Jake will go out there and he's going to move around a lot. He's going to pot shot. He's going to try to tie up as much as he can. He's going to burn time. And that's what he did. And it was just a matter of time that Joshua realized that Jake couldn't hurt him and started walking through his punches and going to the body and just started beating him up. I give Jake credit. He finally did do something that we've been telling him that he needs to do, is to fight a legitimate fighter. And then it finally showed. The same thing we've been saying for years. If he fights a real fighter, he's going to get beat up and he's going to lose. And that's exactly what happened. And we saw little shades of it, even against Mike Tyson, even against Anderson Silva, against Fury, where, obviously he's beatable. And for him to step up against someone like Joshua is courageous, maybe not necessarily smart, because it could have ended badly for him. But okay, cool. You went out there, you fought hard, you got knocked down, you got back up, you got the respect from most of the boxing fans and most of the boxing world. The only sad thing about it is that he kind of shortcut his way to fighting a former world champion like Anthony Joshua, where all the other heavyweights in boxing have to go the long way. They have to go the hard way. And you can say, oh, well, Jake earned it. He hustled his way there. But you can also say that Jake got a little bit of privilege as well. There's two ways to look at it. And that's just the way I feel about that. And I've always felt that way about it. But at least he finally did fight a legitimate fighter. Yeah. And, it's been more than a year that Joshua has been out. So, he probably wanted to take his time. There's no need to knock him out in the first round. There's no real bad blood between them either. It's not like a fight where Joshua comes into the fight really want to knock the guy's head off. It's just kind of like a glorified sparring match, except I have to turn it up a little bit and actually win the fight. That's how I looked at Joshua's demeanor, the whole build up, and even in the fight, that he's just kind of taking his time and there's no real reason to run out there and just try to bulldoze him. And yeah, at least fans got their money worth for the most part, other than Jake falling down all the time, which was fucking weird and annoying me. But maybe his legs were just completely gone, or maybe cramping up. They're showing the replay right now. His legs could have been cramping up. They're also very possible. Yeah, and when you're falling down like that and that much, you're when you do that to an experienced fighter, I mean, it's like a dog seeing blood, right? And once the legs start to look a little bit weak, or you're falling down, you might be able to get away with it once or twice, but more than that, it's like, hey, I know I got him. It's just a matter of time, because every real fighter knows that once the legs are done, it's game over, because you can't get out of the way. You can't move. You can't stand up. You can't take a big hit. The legs are everything in boxing. I learned that the hard way when I was boxing. If you don't have legs, it doesn't matter how much you bench press. It doesn't matter how much how fast you throw punches or how hard you throw punches. If you don't have conditioned legs, you're fucked. And this is why boxers jump rope as much as they do, why they run as much as they do. All the plyometrics that they do is since the dawn of time. You're standing up and you're fighting. You need conditioned legs. And I'm not saying that Jake wasn't in shape, but his legs weren't conditioned for the type of fight that he was trying to fight. That's for sure. And that's part of the game and experience. Well, you guys, I'm going to call it here. I appreciate everybody stopping by and hitting that like button for me. I know I don't come on here often, but nonetheless, I appreciate it. And I'm going to get on with my Saturday here. By the way, it's Saturday afternoon, so I'm going to go out and enjoy my time with my newly required puppy. And yeah, just wanted to come on here and let you guys know I'm still alive, still love boxing, and come on here whenever I can. So hope you guys enjoyed the commentary. And just always keep in the back of your mind that, you know, big fights I'll probably come around. So keep your eyes open nonetheless. Also, I'm putting my attention mostly on my new channel, which is predominantly focused towards fitness. And so if you guys are looking for ways to get fitter, stronger, improving your health, I highly recommend you come over to my other channel where I'm going to be spending most of my time. As a matter of fact, I'll go ahead and leave a link in the chat and you guys can swing by. Other than that, go ahead and step out. Appreciate you guys.